So I've given you that background of, the African parents. I've told you where we need to do better. And I've also told you the laws around the areas of our weakness and the laws that we need to pay attention to. I've also talked to you about safeguarding investigation. Now the question is, now that I know all this, how can we balance our parenting style? So to balance your parenting styles, you need to take a number of steps. The first step would be to review your parenting goal. You need to ask yourself that question. What do you want to achieve by parenting? You are in a developed world. Do you want to parent a child who will stand shoulder to shoulder with a child outside and compete with a child confidently? Do you want to parent a child who's got good self-esteem? Do you want to parent a child who is, excelling in their academics and who is balanced in terms of their physical health, social, and mental well-being? So you need to review your parenting goal and ask yourself if you're working towards that goal. We must be flexible because sometimes we find it difficult to learn new methods. We find it challenging. We're so rigid that we stick to old methods that have been, outdated, obsolete methods. So we must be flexible, be ready to learn. But remember, when you're learning new methods, that does not mean that you should compromise your values. Actually, you need to keep your values and learn new methods. Practice safeguarding. Every parent in the UK, especially Black parents, because our white counterparts, many of them know about safeguarding, right? But we should be safeguarding aware. We must be safeguarding aware. You must be thinking about safeguarding in everything you're doing. If you are cooking in the kitchen and your child is there with you, you are thinking safeguarding. You are looking around for them and taking them away from the flame. Because if they get burnt, that becomes a safeguarding concern. That amounts to poor supervision. So everyone must be safeguarding aware. If you're leaving your child alone at home, you must be sure that they are able to remove themselves from harm. Are they up to it? Are they ready to be left at home alone? Because if something happens, that becomes safeguarding. It's just a lot. Like I explained earlier, safeguarding is the preventive or proactive action you take to promote a child's well-being. So be skillful. Be skillful, be creative on how to parent. Show empathy, listen to your children. You must have emotional intelligence. You must be able to control your anger. You must be able to control your emotions. When you're upset, when you're angry, when you're tired, you don't transfer that on your children. You must also know that you are parenting a different generation. And, parenting is actually dynamic. Because the truth is, the challenges that you had when you were a child is not the same challenge that these children are going through now. So how can you be using the same skills to parent them? You are parenting a different generation. Their challenges are very unique and you did not experience it. You did not experience it, so you must be able to show compassion and empathy. Go into their shoes, go into their circumstance to understand what they are passing through. That's why you need to understand that this is actually a different generation. Be creative about how you're parenting them. Read books on parenting, take parenting classes, build a support community. So you build your support community where your family and your children will see people of like minds. Balancing your parenting style. Sacrifice. I know we're already doing that. We're already being sacrificial, but I'm just bringing this up again to let you know that you should balance work and family. Lots of shifts and all that, no family time with the children. Think about it. You need to balance your work with your family, have time for your family. The next point is pride. You must have that pride in your identity. Show that pride I know we already have it, but like I said, sometimes the pressures can impact on that pride and it looks like we're unsure. Okay? Now you must be sure of that identity to be able to transfer it to your child. So support your child's identity and needs. You must be adaptable. You must make effort to understand your child's reality. I already said that. And the circumstances they find themselves when they are outside the home. It is challenging for them. So try to understand what they go through. You must have the courage. I think this is one of the most difficult parts because there are so many things that we're not used to doing back home, like communication. But here, everyone talks. Have you seen a child who grew up here? They just tell you straight. They talk about things. They are quite open. So we must develop that courage to be able to talk, to communicate, to address sensitive issues. This is really important. We must be able to address sensitive issues like sex education, sensitive issues like talking about race, talking about vaping and smoking, talking about bullying. There's just so many topics to talk about. You must have that courage and you must not sweep it under the carpet. You must talk about them. Engage with professionals. When you're going to see a professional, let's say a GP or a doctor, don't act like a naive person. No, don't do it. If you don't know what is expected, ask for a leaflet or go online, and read about whatever the reason you're going to see the health professional. Show up in full force. Don't be naive when they are talking to you. You're just doing, no, don't be naive. When you're talking about your child, show that enthusiasm, that courage. It takes courage to do it. It might seem intimidating, surrounded by all these people and they're asking you questions, but with courage, you will be able to do it. It takes courage to also drop old styles of parenting and learn new ones. Now, your values. You're balancing your parenting style. I've said it already. It doesn't mean you should drop your values. No. You must inculcate that values in your children, and that's what makes the difference. The values might include your heritage, your virtues, respect for elders, all those good things I talked about our parenting styles. You still inculcate them. Those are values. Okay? Faith. In the society today, do you know how many children come and they ask, what faith do you belong to? I have no religion. Now many children, I have no religion. Is that what we want to do? No. We must inculcate our values in the children. If you're a Christian, the Christian values must be in them. They must understand what it means to stand tall as a Christian.